This is WCSS 1490 in Amsterdam, New York, and welcome to the show with no name. I'm Bob Going with Jim Nicosia and Gavin Murdoch.
Good morning, everyone.
Hello, folks. Hello, Bob.
Hey.
Jim.
Hey.
Here we go.
Straw.
Okay. All right. That's a long introduction. We're still playing with this. We need time to get Sam out of here and us in here in between.
We got thousands of people here and back of us.
I know.
We got to make room for them.
Those of you watching on video can see the massive crowds. It's like the chariot race scene from Ben-Hur.
Yeah, I get.
That's right.
I keep getting poked in the back.
Try and get to the front of the line here.
Let's see, what line am I on? I'm coming in nice and loud here. It's like
yeah, you're right.
Really?
You're right there.
Oh well, what'd you do?
I turned you down.
I turned it off.
No.
Okay, we're good.
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
We can hear you.
All right. Okay. Technical problems out of the way. Cameras on. Everything's plugged in. Everything looks good.
And all's right with the world.
All's right with the world.
Almost everything. Yeah.
All right. So, what's the big news today? What you've got two papers sitting in front of you.
Yeah, I haven't seen too much yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was walking down Guy Park Avenue towards the ends of the city Saturday, my walk, and someone pulled up and said, "Hey, where are all the flagpoles here at the park at the end, Guy Park?" I said, "I don't know." I said, there were 6 of them there. I said, a couple of weeks ago, maybe more than a couple of weeks ago. But then I find out that they took the big flagpoles down and they brought them up to Veterans Park, Veterans Field, and now we have no flags on the West End.
Well, we just this is what we do. We just borrow things from one place and bring them to another. That's that's now. Here we got a mayor saying everybody's got to cooperate, right? Yeah, right. Everybody needs to. We need to keep open lines of communication. Everybody cooperate, get on the same page. Let's solve the problem. So what's the very next thing she does after that?
Yeah.
She decides to take the fence from the neighborhood park on Milton Avenue and bring it down to her art center that she put together without any authorization.
Where no one will see it.
Where no one will see it. On top of that. It's been surrounding the old Milton Avenue school site for over 100 years.
Yeah.
Why did they let that part go to begin with?
Did she take the fence down, or she plans to take it down?
I don't know if they've started moving it yet, but she was doing it without any consultation with even the alderman of the ward, as I understand it.
Well, when you're the titular head of an organization or whatever you want to call it, you don't have to ask permission. Did I use the right word?
Well, I guess so. Yeah.
It was close, right?
Yeah. Something else, yeah, but that works.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think you'll get in trouble for that. No.
No.
I don't know. I don't understand why or how they do the things they do. I mean, when I was in City Hall, every once and when I was a judge too, every once in a while, an employee would complain about somebody coming in and complain. Somebody else coming in and make a complaint, and some employees would complain about the complainer. And I said, look, our sole purpose here is to help people solve problems.
Exactly.
That's why we're here.
Yeah. Not create, yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Not put up roadblocks. To do what we can to make their lives easier. It's the same with the codes employees. The job is not to punish people; it's to make sure everything's done right. That's what the goal is. Make sure things are being done right. All the departments, in one way or another. Let's make this miserable trip to City Hall as pleasant as possible for the people who have to do it.
Yeah, and if they're there, they're usually because there's a problem with something that they're,
Right. Now, you were an alderman for a number of years, off and on.
Yeah.
What is the principal reason why aldermen go to City Hall and talk to employees and department heads?
Because somebody's complained to them.
And there's something that needs to be done.
Something that has to be done.
Right. So you're not going there to come up with political schemes to outwit somebody from the other party. You're there to make sure the pothole gets filled, or the firebox is working, or whatever.
Yeah, if you can't do that, then we don't need aldermen.
Yeah,
I mean, the mayor could take care of everything, but she can't do that if she's not sitting in her office all day long.
Well,
she can't go to conferences. She can't go to lunch. It's because there's a problem. Even at lunchtime, there's problems.
So anyway, the goal is get the problem solved. You as an alderman, bring it to the attention of whoever needs to get attention to.
Right. The
next week you go in and you say, "Is this get done yet?" If it hasn't, why? What's the problem? Is there a problem? Is there anything we can do to make it smoother? Do you need more money in your budget? How do we get this solved? Okay, that seems to be fairly elementary way the government should be running.
Exactly. And if you go to a department head and say, I found a pothole here, or I saw something wrong over here, you're not directing them to do anything. You give them the problem. That department head should go to the mayor or whoever's in charge and say, look, this is wrong and this is wrong. How do we take care of it?
Right.
It's not giving the guy directions. It's just letting him know that there is something wrong.
Right.
If you don't, how's he going to find out?
Right. And if it doesn't get done, you have to go back and tell your constituent why it's not getting done.
Exactly.
And there's either a good reason or a bad reason. There may very well be a good reason, and if there's not a good reason, well, then that's a problem that you need as an alderman to know about, and you need to address.
And hopefully take care of it.
So forbidding city employees to speak with aldermen is absurd. And as somebody pointed out to me, you mean to tell me that the average citizen now has more right to go into City Hall and talk to employees and department heads than the elected official?
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Oh my God.
If that gag order is legal.
Well, it's not legal. No, of course it's not legal.
I didn't think so.
But I can't imagine. But
it's going to scare everybody.
Well, that's right. It has a chilling effect on the employee. What employee is going to face disciplinary charges from a vindictive mayor? And there's no more vindictive person ever held the public office than this one.
And it happened last week because Diane Hessenbuehler had a meeting with someone, and that directive came out. He canceled the meeting. He said, I can't talk to you.
He's intimidated.
Yeah. He was afraid.
Yeah.
And he shouldn't be, because civil service.
Yeah. Well, except but if you have to go through the miserable process of being disciplined and having stuff put in your
file.
Personnel file just because you talk to an alderman, it's not worth it.
No.
You just say, the heck with it, I'll do what everybody else does and sit on my hands all day.
Sit back and let things go the way they are.
It's ridiculous.
And let her take care of everything.
Ridiculous.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And
I see I don't know what to make of this. I see the restaurant down at the Riverlink Park is closed for the season.
Yes, I heard the same thing. I inquired from a couple people, no officials. And one person said that they had heard that he had a serious illness in his family, so he had to pull out.
Well, who's going to collect the money for the boats parking now?
But I also heard that the business slacked off so much because the people didn't want to walk across the bridge and down the stairs.
Well, it is a difficult place to get to. There's no question about that. It's no fault of the lessor, but
no. My granddaughter's wedding was down there this last year, and it was beautiful. The food was good. He put on a good wedding. But I went across the railroad tracks. I would have been really teed off if I had to go across the bridge and down the stairs.
Yeah.
I'd have gone, but
it's a long walk.
It is.
Even if you're in a wheelchair, it's a long haul for somebody pushing you.
Yeah.
Well, there's the elevator and all that, so it's not like it can't be done, but it's not like parking in Russo's parking lot and squeezing through the door. Or Crystal and Forest.
I was going to say It's easier to, well, I shouldn't say it because
All right, so don't say it.
they're all good restaurants, but
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
but Crystal's is extra special.
It is. We doing the commercial this early in the show?
Well, that's not a commercial.
No,
I'm
no,
just, I'm
we'll
just
just
making a
mention it.
statement. 'cause
We'll
I'm
save
getting
'em.
hungry.
Yeah, let's save it. I don't know. What have you been doing, Gavin?
Last night, I had the pleasure of spending some time with a couple of our old great classmates, John Blatchford and Mr. Joe Riley.
Wow,
Joe had just...
that's pretty good. That's pretty good company.
It was. Joe had just returned from Annapolis, where his son just is a plebe there and just came back.
I
from
did not
Harvard.
know that.
Yeah, he's a... and that was part of our discussion. I said,
Who's that, Patrick?
Dennis.
Dennis. Ah, I did not
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah,
Ah.
down there. So we had a discussion what a plebe was. I said, that's the West Point. He says, no, it's Annapolis. You know what? We're both right.
They're both right.
It's a plebe either place. Yeah.
Right.
So he was real nice down there. It's a tough program, but
Yes, it is.
he's surviving. He looked well, he said.
Wow.
So
My grandson leaves today for Merchant Marine Academy.
where he'll be a plebe.
Yep, where he'll be a plebe. I don't know if they call them plebes at Merchant Marine Academy.
I
They
don't. I
could
don't
be.
doubt it.
Yeah.
My brother got appointed to that, but he turned it down.
Pointed to who?
He got appointed to the Merchant Marine Academy. By Stratton, and then he didn't want to do that. He wanted Annapolis and didn't get it. Rich Naple got Annapolis.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, and Tim Naple as well. Matter of fact, there were three from Kimball Street. John Donlin as well lived on Kimball Street. Went to Annapolis.
Good
Pretty
program. Yeah.
Pretty good. Tim stayed in. Tim.
He just retired.
He just recently retired. He's as a captain, charge of the helicopter group,
Great.
and that's a nice little specialty because there are only two helicopter groups. One stationed in Norfolk and the other one in San Diego. So he got to spend almost his entire service career in one of the loveliest spots on the face of the earth, San Diego, California, on the island of Coronado. Yeah. His wife was at the party, Susan Gaetano Naple. She was at the
Yes,
party.
she was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're
nice-
talking about what the party formerly known as the Hill Hood Reunion, which now is called the Friends Reunion. Because it's kind of
Over on,
expensive. Nobody wants to be known as a hood anymore. Like to the old days.
Yeah, it was nice over there.
Tim Kelly comes every year from Ohio, drives out from Cincinnati area. Always good to see him. Good to see everybody.
Yeah, it's a nice place over there.
It is. At La Cocina di Perillo.
Perfect day for it. It was
Yeah.
sunny and warm, but not too hot.
Not too hot, just lovely.
We had a few really, really beautiful days.
Yeah, can't complain.
Yeah, today's supposed to be a little humid. Tomorrow's supposed to be the worst day.
A little bit of rain.
A lot of rain, they're saying. It's
Yay! Oh well.
that means my grass will start growing, and then I'm going to have to cut it again.
Yeah, that's usually a good thing about August. The grass doesn't grow, and you don't have to mow it.
843-2500 is the number, by the way, if you've got something you'd actually like to talk about. Yes, we got to mention the death of Robin Williams. These things are always shocking, I guess. But the thing that shocked me most was that he's my age. You know, he got old real young. You know, there's that. My mother always said there's a fine line between genius and madness, and
Yes.
and his buddy Jonathan Winters was the same way. You know.
Oh, yeah.
You know, wow.
He was wound up all the time.
Wound up all the time, and you know, you can't imagine what it must be like to live with a brain that's going at the speed that his brain was going.
It had to be going that fast because no matter what you said to him, he had a snappy answer and he had a comedic answer to it, or
just flip into a routine and be flying all over the room, and What we got people?
Like
No,
people.
nobody's buzzing yet. No. Yeah. So I suppose we should say hello to our fans in Waltham and Concord, Mass, and Where else? Tennessee and North Carolina and Florida and Ohio, Kentucky. We have a number in Kentucky.
Yeah.
Several of the former Yugoslav republics.
Bob Park's out on the northwest coast.
Yeah.
He listens to us.
Does he really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to talk to him. I saw him in passing a couple of times.
Yeah.
In fact, it only occurred to me after I left. I said, "Geez, he's out west someplace."
Yeah.
And Dave Collins came up. Dr. Dave Collins came up from Pennsylvania. His mother, Florence Collins, taught at Roman Avenue School for part of her career with my mother-in-law. Over 40 years, I believe. Yeah. 40 years teaching school. She's 102 years old.
Whoa.
Still going. Still going.
Wow.
He finally brought her down where he is, but she had been living here until about a year ago, I guess. Yeah.
Long time.
Yeah. God bless her. My sister-in-law had her. My wife had somebody else. But there you go.
I guess the
she's been retired as long as she was working. When you think about it, she worked for 40 years. She's been retired for 40 years. Wow. Wow.
She earned it. 40 years. That's a long time to be in the classroom.
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess.
I can't imagine that. I can't imagine that.
How many years were you in classroom teaching, Gavin?
76, 5, 10.
Counting the Indians.
I'm counting the Indians. 25 years.
Yeah.
Counting the Indians and counting the Russians and counting the girls at St. Anne's. Yeah. Yeah. Long time. Long time. Yeah.
You guys, the school board, having monthly meetings still, or what?
Yeah, we have a meeting coming up. 2 weeks. Got another meeting coming up.
Anything controversial on the agenda?
Not that I'm aware of at this point. Trying to get the final hirees taken care of before school opens. There's always,
those things are. I would think there's always a big shuffle, like in August, right?
Yeah, there's a big scramble to get on. Oftentimes you interview somebody and say, "Boy, he's a great teacher. Let's hire him." And of course, 4 other districts think the same thing, and then you have to go through the whole process over again when perhaps they choose another district. So it's a busy time of year. Gearing up for school is a lot harder than gearing down at the end of the year.
How much is the school board involved in the hiring process and the interview process?
We are not involved in the interview process. We have to approve anybody the district hires, but we're not part of the. That's an administrative function.
Yeah.
So the administration handles the interviews.
That doesn't make sense.
To have them do it.
What doesn't make sense?
Why?
That you're not involved in the interviewing, but you're involved in yes or no.
Well, you have to have faith in the people who are involved in that, and that's one of the functions.
I guess.
School board's primary function is policy. It is not a day-to-day operation of making individual decisions within school buildings. You've got policies and procedures that handle those things, and you have to trust the people who are doing them.
I think we need a job in the school
I was
district.
going to say,
do we know anybody?
Yeah, my daughter-in-law works there. I don't know what the hell she does, but she was at.
That's confidence.
No, I don't pry in her business, but I guess the school, the summer school is over with yesterday, I guess.
Yeah, yesterday's the last day of summer school. Yeah, it was up at Teckler. Marie was up at Teckler.
Was he?
Yeah.
Getting back to
my wife.
well, this is sort of in line, but I saw the most amazing. Aside from Hillary Clinton's denunciation of Obama's foreign policy, I saw the most amazing thing on Facebook yesterday, and that was the mayor taking credit for the lower overall tax rates that are going on right now. That the school district, the county were both less than they were the year before, and blah blah blah. Now, what?
I didn't catch that one.
Oh yeah, and it's like, does she think we forgot that the only reason that the city rate was held in line is because the Common Council overrode her vetoes for spending more money?
Yeah, but she was still there.
Yeah, right. She's taking full credit for it.
So it's during her
She doesn't even
regime.
mention the Common Council. Yeah. And then she says,
They're irrelevant.
and I think the point she was trying to make is the reason the school district taxes for the city residents are lower is because of the incredible job that the assessor is doing. Well, that has nothing to do with what the assessor's doing. It has nothing whatsoever to do with what the assessor's doing. She keeps throwing this myth out. The reason the city tax rate is relatively lower than the surrounding communities is because the value of the property in the city of Amsterdam is going down compared to our surrounding communities. That's why.
You absolutely should not be surprised. Because on page 6, paragraph 4 of the Democratic playbook, take credit for the good, blame somebody else for the bad. It's Obama's playbook that he's developed over the last 6 years.
Speaking of which, I said the Clinton denouncing the Obama foreign policy when she was the Secretary of State. Then we got Obama now saying, well, it's not my fault there are no troops in Iraq.
I told you.
What? This is WCSS. You're on the air.
Morning, Robert. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Oh, I was going to ask you. I've been hearing something about, are they going back to 8 aldermen for the wards? Are they going to stick with the
Well,
stick with
one of the plans of the Charter Commission is to keep the 5 ward aldermen, but also elect 2 more aldermen as aldermen at large. This is an attempt to,
Which is ridiculous.
which is, it's a last it's a last
is
breath
awesome.
attempt of the mayor to gain some kind of control. So,
But that is totally out.
and in fact, it won't even take effect until after she's left office. So,
Well, that's going to be when? Year after next?
Not soon enough.
yeah,
Year and a half.
yeah.
Well, I just hope Jimmy and Bob, I just hope that gets voted on because that is totally outrageous and it's going to be another big ticket. It's going to hurt the freaking taxpayers, for one thing, and they don't need no more. They had the ones now, and you can thank Mario Villa for that because they had 8 aldermen before, remember? And
I remember.
he's the one that got it down to 5.
Well, he was sort of involved in that. Yeah, yeah.
And they had and I remember when they had the garbage twice a week, and they got that down to 1 day a week, and everybody complaining about it, but down the road, everything worked out nice,
Well, okay. Good. I'm not going to refight the 2-day-a-week garbage collection battle. That's long gone. Yeah.
Well, just hope to get some Republicans to get rid of these liberals out there. That's what the whole problem is up there,
Yeah, that's it. That's it. You
know what I mean?
You don't have any of those down there where you are, do you? Got any liberals
Well,
down there?
they're trying to get rid of them. I'm not saying they're all bad. I mean, people that I know up in New York, Bob, but I mean, these people in office forget it because if I don't think they can drain your pockets out, they can dry heads. You know that,
Are you registered to vote down there yet, or what?
Yeah, but I didn't think can vote though. No.
Wow. Yeah, you ought to do that. You ought to do that.
No.
All right.
Okay, Bob and Jim, have a nice day.
All right. Check in later. All right. Good. I don't know if he can hear us down there. But, I don't know if he's got a
I think he can hear us.
WCSS1490.com connection. But he knows what time we're on anyway.
He must get it through the computer.
Maybe.
Because
people do listen. Yeah, so Park said he listens, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Collins watches the podcast when we're done with it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. We had a nice chat. He keeps taking the test for Gettysburg Battlefield Guide. And
oh yeah.
And believe me, I've never been able to come close to stumping him. He's an amazing wealth of information about the personnel and the course of the battle, and he's plotting out a 2-day trip for me. On the first day I'm gonna show you this. Second day we're gonna show you that. I hope I get down there because he's working awful hard to.
That'd be a great job.
And this will be isolated to the particular interest I have, which was my great-great-grandfather's regiment.
Right.
And he said, well, there's a lot of ticks down there, so if you get, don't forget to bring the tick spray. Wow. Yeah. It's really good. I got my own personal guide to the Gettysburg battlefield. You ever been down there, Jim?
No, never have.
Very impressive. Very impressive because much of it is as it was.
I missed that draft.
Yeah.
talking about ticks.
They're really bad.
My nephew got a tick bite, and he got a parasite in his bloodstream with it. He was in the hospital for 2 weeks.
Wow.
They just sent him home the other day.
Well, now there's something other than Lyme disease is being carried by these ticks.
That's what he got, and he had to replace half his blood or something.
Oh my God!
And, yeah, he was pretty sick. A fever every day for 2 weeks. But he's home now, and he said he's feeling pretty good.
From a tick, from something this big.
Yeah, tick bite. Yeah. Well, I had the Lyme disease from it, but the antibiotic they gave me it went away in a week's time.
And that's one of the things that they got to catch it quick that you got Lyme disease, because the longer it festers in you, the worse it gets, and the harder time they have trying to eradicate it.
Well, I had a couple of tick bites and went through it was a 10-day antibiotic treatment. Now they give it to you in one dose, but it was awful stuff. Oh my God, really vile. Anyway, but you don't want to get Lyme disease.
That's right.
Take care.
Anyway.
So all these golfers that are out there on the golf course, got to be careful.
Stay out of the rough.
Stay out of the rough, and don't go looking for lost balls, because that's where the ticks are.
Yeah, better off to just take a drop and.
It really kind of takes the fun out of summer, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Afraid to walk through any place.
Jeez. Oh. Bruce Trachtenberg's running for family court judge in Schenectady. Huh. I did not know that. All right. I think they got 2 of them down there. I wonder which seat he's running for. He was you're ahead of me or behind me in law school. You're behind me in law school, I think. I don't think he was in my class. Anyway, I got a big reunion coming up for I got all these reunions. I had my 45th high school reunion. Then we got, of course, the Hillhood / Friends reunion. And I got my 35th law school reunion coming up.
Oh.
Wow. Do you have to go up to Dannemora to visit some of your classmates?
I beg your pardon.
Catch them all in the same place.
This is not funny. So is that a lawyer joke? Is that?
No. Bad attorney joke. It's for us.
This is WCSS. You're on the air.
Good morning, Bob and Gavin and Jim.
Hey.
Good morning.
It's Johnny Request. Listening to your show, first of all, I'd like to say happy birthday to my dad, John Rokas Sr. He's up in Canjo. Happy birthday, Dad.
Is it time for the commercial, Tony, or what?
Well, you were talking about the fence here on Milton.
Yeah.
Are you
familiar with that fence?
Property there.
Yeah.
It's about 20% down, and parts of it are still laying in the park there, whatever you want to call it. I mean, any scrapper could come by and pick it up if he had the cojones. They've been doing this for like 4 or 5 days at least. It's probably only 20% down, but
well, they got
it doesn't really need to be there. I don't really care that they're moving it somewhere else. At least they're cutting down all the shrubbery and weeds and getting rid of it, so that's a good thing.
That used to be a very nice park. I sold snow cones there back in the early 70s and late 60s. Yeah.
Now it's just a parking lot now.
Yeah.
And it's all overgrown, but they've been taking care of it a little bit at a time.
They had playground equipment there. They had parked people. Yeah. Shannon Newell used to be the park lady there. Remember Shannon?
Yeah.
There was a lovely girl.
And I'm sorry to hear about Robin Williams. I really liked his antics, I guess you would say.
Yeah. You weren't on that show, were you? Mark and Mindy? Were you on that show? Were you on
Me?
Yeah. Were you on the Mark and Mindy show?
You didn't play his brother.
I was in the living room watching him.
Okay. All right.
But I guess Good night, Vietnam. I don't know what happened with that guy over in town of Florida. He wanted to commit suicide. Maybe he wanted to go meet him.
What guy was that?
Some guy was trying to jump off the bridge over there from the town of Florida last night or something. The police talked him out of it.
Wow.
Oh, I didn't hear that one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, you guys keep up the good work, and happy birthday, Dad.
Okay. Hey, that's good. Happy birthday up in Canjo. All right. Okay. That reminds me, by the way, this is WCSS 1490 in Amsterdam, New York. The wife and I decided to go chase the moon last night.
Did you? Not howl at chase.
I did not eliminate anything from what I just said, okay? All right? How, what we do, when we're alone is really none of your business. But anyway, we hopped in the car and we knew when the moonrise was, and she's got her iPad with the star app.
It's
an incredible thing. Honest to God, knows where you are, and it knows what, shows you what the constellations you're looking at are, and all that stuff.
Serious.
So we started at the shrine, and then the hills were like too tall there, and it was supposed to rise at 826, but that's sea level. By the time it gets up another 500 feet, it's So we went up on the ridge. We went up on the ridge road by Glen, and
were the hills alive with music up there?
the hills were alive with the sound of music. It was incredible. It's incredible. All these little kids running around in draperies. Yeah. And anyway, so we started wandering back toward Amsterdam, and then we went up like on Langley Road, and that's when it really hit. And it was this huge orange moon rising up over the
rising of the moon.
rising over to the Mineville Hills.
Rising of the moon.
Yeah, the rising of the moon. The rising of the moon. Those of you not familiar with the rising of the moon, it's just one of those things the Irish do every once in a while, just for the heck of it.
It's a great tune.
Yeah. Yeah.
So why?
Well, there was a point to my. Oh yes, the point was that after we were done gazing at the moon, they said, "Well, it's time to get some ice cream." We'd left Jamie home. We had the dog with us, but left Jamie home, and so there's no hurry to get. It was just the two of us. So we go over to Crystalline Forest.
Get out of town.
Yes, wow. yes. And of course, they got 24 flavors of soft ice cream, and I've been trying them out one at a time. And by the way, I spend a lot more money at Crystalline Forest than he pays for this commercial. So so he's coming out way ahead, no matter what. No matter what here. If I'm the only one going.
No, Elaine and I went Friday.
Yesterday was Monday. Before bagpipe practice, where do we go? Crystalline Forest. Get 2 twists.
Yeah.
You know what's great? Chocolate vanilla twist. You got to try that sometime. If you've never had it, try it.
I went for the cheesecake flavor last night. Yeah, that's not bad. A little tang to it. Yeah. So I've done the cheesecake, the blueberry, the pistachio, banana. I'm working up there.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah, okay. So, but no, we're not going to the call yet. We're in the middle of a commercial. Okay.
Well, I went up Friday and I had a fish sandwich, and with tartar sauce. It was very good.
Oh, I didn't know he was serving fish sandwiches.
Yep.
On Friday.
Elaine had chicken tenders with a dipping sauce or whatever.
Yeah.
Great.
Was there enough food? I mean,
there was enough food.
You didn't go away hungry?
I didn't go away hungry, and I was so full, I didn't even have some ice cream. Elaine did, but I didn't.
Elaine had ice cream after the chicken tenders.
Yes.
Wow.
But,
wow.
So maybe Friday when I go back, maybe I'll get the chicken tenders, so I can have some ice cream.
You can have ice cream anyway. You can have ice cream any time of the day or night. Really.
That can be used as an appetizer as well as a dessert.
There you go.
Well, I like.
Or if you get a big banana split, it could be a main course.
I like that idea.
Oh, and I frankly I like a little ice cream to clean the palate between courses. We'll have the salad, then we have a little ice cream, clean the palate, and then go on to the.
You can savor your next part of your meal.
Good idea. Good idea.
Yeah. And if you're going to do that, what better place to go than a place that serves great food and ice cream.
That's right.
And that would be
Crystalline Forest.
Crystalline Forest.
Good job, Tony.
Good job, Tony Sente. This is WCSS. You're on the air. Hello? Oh. Okay.
They took our advice and they deserted us.
They deserted us for dessert.
That's right. Not for ice cream.
Wow. Where do you think they went?
I'd hope they go to Crystalline Forest.
I would hope so.
That's the best.
Yeah. I would hope so. Anyway, poor Robin Williams.
Poor William. Yeah.
It's a bummer. It's sort of, the guy's been.
That's it.
The guy's been clearly seriously depressed for a long time.
I was gonna, that's a shame that someone gets that depressed that
you don't. Unless you've experienced it, you can't.
You don't know.
You can't even begin to understand it. I've had a couple of bouts myself, certainly minor compared to what he went through, and fortunately, in my case, it was all related as a side effect of the drug I was taking. So I can shut it off. Don't take the pill. We'll feel much better.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, sometimes it can just leave you totally debilitated. You can't get out of bed.
As it eats at you, it starts eating more and more, and you can't.
Yeah. And, what's a guy like that do for an encore? He was top of his game when he was still in his 20s, for God's sakes. He's now 63 years old.
How do you top that, right?
How do you top that? It's like, they asked Neil Armstrong how he felt after he went to the moon. He says, well, I got to tell you, he says, I'm 34 years old, and I can say for certainty that I'm never going to have a more interesting 4 days for the rest of my life.
Well, I think Robin Williams was on somebody's talk show here this past week, wasn't it? Last week?
I don't know.
I think I saw it. Yeah.
He's got 4 movies unreleased at this point.
Really?
Yeah. One's he's just doing a voiceover, but yeah.
He's done a lot of voiceovers in the last few years.
Well, he can do them all. All right, here we go again. This is WCSS. You're on the air.
That's for the office, Bob. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. Okay. All right. Good.
Okay.
Oh, it was blinking.
It was blinking, yeah.
Winking?
Blinking.
And?
No.
That's right.
Who were those guys?
There were 3 men in a boat.
What were they doing?
They were looking for the rising of the moon as they were floating past the hills that were alive with music.
I'm beginning to suspect.
I suspect a lot of it.
That you might possibly be bluffing your way through some of this program today.
You guys are very suspect.
Well, we're the usual ones anyways.
Round up the usual suspects.
I think it has something to do with spending 2 hours with Joe Riley last night.
I keep looking at the door to make
the
sure
names are Mr. and Mrs. Victor Laszlo.
Looking at the door to make sure nobody comes after you two guys.
So Joe Riley, he's a pretty funny guy.
He is. He is. And he can turn almost anything into funny. Because he started out the conversation talking about the Cherry Valley Massacre with Butler and Joseph Brandt, and he threw some comedic zingers in the middle of it as he's explaining this to Misha, and okay. So he can turn the most nondescript item into something.
Yeah, that sounds like
hilarious.
my house. Only when I bring up the Cherry Valley Massacres, the room empties. Oh, by the way, speaking of the Riley, I saw Pat Riley at the party. And he told me to be sure to mention that his heart is ticking just fine. Thank you. He had open heart surgery recently, and
he did.
He looked great. And he says everything's clicking along just fine. So
very good.
It is
good for Pat.
It is amazing what they can do. John Blatchford last night showed us his scar. He had microvalve repair done.
Really? I did not know that.
And he was about a year ago, and he was talking about how for 5 hours they had his heart stopped as they worked on it.
Yeah, that's
and they put it back in.
Yeah.
And you're.
My father was a pioneer in open heart surgery.
Coonskin cap.
Yeah. Everything. Yeah,
Oh.
Bowie knife.
Bowie knife.
Yeah, that's what they used to.
Cut him open.
Yeah. Oh, so I mean, this is the old days.
Yeah, that's right.
He had the mitral valve replaced
It's-
at one point.
What they can
Or
do.
maybe twice. I forget. No, he had it cleaned out. Had it cleaned out twice, and the third time they gave him an artificial valve. Yeah, yeah, amazing stuff. But yeah, they just. I mean, open heart surgery didn't start till the very late 50s, and the heart-lung machine. And they just shut your heart. They bypass the heart. You know, take the heart out, play with it. You know, put it back together.
Manipulate it.
Yeah. Crazy stuff. And then, you know, hope it starts when they reverse the process.
Yeah. Yeah. It's unbelievable.
It really is. It really is.
Modern technology.
You know, he had his last surgery, my father had his last surgery in 1970. And one of his roommates during that recovery period was a fellow who I think was the first person to have quintuple bypass surgery. Okay, and it's now so routine. It's like taking your tonsils out, almost, not quite,
almost.
But they do them every day now. And this guy was like the first guy, you know, out in Cleveland or someplace.
Wow.
Yeah. Didn't last either. Those things happen. You know.
No guarantees.
There are no guarantees, you know, and when you're...
The parts wear out, the warranty expires.
You know, if my father, you know, had been born 10 years later, he probably never would have needed the heart surgery to begin with because the antibiotics would have taken care of the disease that ruined his heart.
Yeah.
But, you know, in 1970, he was a candidate for heart replacement, and it was such a rare thing then that... and now I've known several people personally who've had it done. But back then there was like, you know, a handful of people around the world that had it done. So anyway, so he dies at 52. There we go. But John looked good, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He was great.
Good to hear.
He's got a place up on the lake up there, and his kids are all doing well, and his wife was out of town, so he was right with the world.
Their kids lined up with ours, and we're all friends. And Marie used to, when Mary was first started teaching, Marie would watch Louisa half a day, and so I'd go over there and pick them up and play with the other two, with the two younger ones.
Oh.
Yeah, what was I doing? I spent more time playing with her kids than she was watching mine, now that I think about it. I bet we paid her, too.
The Gloversville Council is having a fight with the mayor up there, the same as we have a fight with our mayor.
You know, I don't think there's anything...
There's a little bit different, though. They want a city manager.
Oh, they're talking about getting rid of the mayor.
Getting rid of the mayor and have a city manager. Well, the mayor will stay there. He'll be a ceremonial guy.
Yeah.
But according to the editorial, he said if they're gonna do that with the mayor's job, they should do it with the council too.
How are you gonna do that?
No, make them all at large.
Make
them all at large, so that because that's what the manager would be.
Yeah. No. Well, the manager, I assume, would be appointed, not elected. Huh?
I don't know.
Yeah, it would have to be. Otherwise, it'd be a mayor.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
All right. No. Let's see. No casino news to talk about.
Not here, anyways.
They're still talking about it, though.
What's this Cuomo and this Moreland Commission thing is really erupting, and it's causing some strange cross currents. Now, you would never expect the New York Times to be leading the charge against a liberal Democrat governor, but boy, he must have done something to them.
And they're jumped on him for going over to Israel too, in the paper. Yeah. Photo ops and looking for the backing.
Yeah.
So
meanwhile,
Rome burns.
Some of these Republican assemblymen and such are saying nice things about Cuomo. I said, what the heck is going on? You know, you got a governor who's potentially on the ropes here. You got a Republican candidate who's working hard, and then they're like backpedaling and winking and nodding that we support the governor. What nonsense!
No.
Not ours.
No.
Are you looking at somebody back?
Yeah, I get the high sign from
Oh.
the back room.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, maybe I should put a mirror in here. Then I'll know what's going on.
Then I wouldn't have a job.
Then you wouldn't have power. You wouldn't have the power you have now.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's
you can't see around all those people.
Yeah. So anyway.
But, politics makes strange bedfellows, so you never know who's going to support somebody for whatever reason it might be.
Right, and there must be something about the job of governor of the state of New York, because Pataki had no trouble getting all messes of Democrats supporting him last time he ran. You know, when he ran against Carl McCall, Carl McCall had been the controller. He was a very popular guy. He was about 6'8", black man. Who had his own base of support. He got annihilated, and the Democrats deserted him for no obvious reason. You know, you'd think on something like that, even if they just shut their mouths and but no. Well, I don't know. I don't think Andrew Cuomo has a likable bone in his body, and the more he gets out there, the more people dislike him. He's certainly done some. You know, he started out with some potential. You know, getting the budget under control and things like. And he's just turned into another crazy man.
Well,
and he's got a vicious streak in him, and he just wants to destroy his enemies. And I think.
Success goes to some people's heads, and therefore they think they have unlimited power and ability because everybody's going to support them.
Right.
It's not true.
Yeah, when you get people bowing down before you all the time, yes, Governor, you're absolutely right, Governor. Yeah.
Off of their heads.
So anyway, that might be a strange upset.
Be interesting if it is.
Jeffrey Bell, running for the Senate in New Jersey, the latest poll shows him within 7 points. There's a guy who was down by 30. He hasn't run for public office in 30 years. And I think he had to get through a primary to get there. We're on?
We're on.
Okay. This is WCSS. You're on the air.
How would you like this for a pick four? Mayor Ann Thane, Paul Tonko, Governor Cuomo, and then Obama. How would you like to hit that at a racetrack someday?
The biggest disaster.
Yeah, well,
that wouldn't go.
That would be no perfecta, I'll tell you that.
They're all out of the same playbook. I'm telling you about
all the same playbook.
Absolutely, they're all on the same page.
Yeah.
Same paragraph.
Yeah. Hey, there was a thing this morning. The Mohawks the Amsterdam Mohawks may finish the season as the #1 rated college team in the country for all the various 20 college leagues that are floating around.
Last year they were in the top.
There were three.
Right?
I think there were 3 last year. I think 9 the year before, or something like that.
That'd be great.
Yeah. That would be a first, but their record was way ahead of anybody. You know, they finished with like 800 winning percentage, and what was it? It was like 38 of the last 43 games they won.
Right. See, they lost
38 or 35.
But they lost 10 games this year, and most 6 out of the 10 were the first 8 games of the year.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Before Kentucky arrived.
Yeah.
Wow. What is it about Kentucky?
It's the bluegrass.
Is that what it is?
It's the bluegrass. Yeah.
Either your two go to the UK?
My son did, yeah. He was a UK grad, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, my daughter went to Murray State.
To where?
Murray State. Which
where is
in
that?
Southern Kentucky.
Oh.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah. Hey.
Never been to Kentucky. That's one of a handful of states I missed.
It's nice.
Looks like a nice place.
Yeah.
Know a lot of people in Kentucky. We should say hello to our friends in Kentucky if I haven't already.
Go ahead, say hi to your friends in Kentucky.
Hi, friends in Kentucky. Should say hello to Chippy Dog as well. I'm sure he's listening at home.
I got to know a couple people in Kentucky myself. Yeah. I sure do.
Jim Beam?
No, you know who?
Derby. Derby. Derby's from Kentucky.
Our greatest football fan now lives in Kentucky.
Who's
Mary Ann.
Oh, yeah, Marianne Nichols, sure. Yeah. Well, that was one of the people I was saying hello to, actually. I just was being more subtle than Look at it. Look, everything's lit up here. I don't know if I see it.
I'm waiting for the high sign.
You getting the high sign?
I'm waiting.
Line 1 or line 2?
Line 1.
It would be line 1.
Yes or no?
Maybe both.
Got them both? Are they ours?
There seems to be a question.
Good question. Who's answering? They got somebody answering the phone and somebody else giving you the sign?
Line 2.
Line 2 is ours. Okay. This is WCSS. You're on the air.
Oh, both of them.
Morning, Joey.
Oh, see that?
Hey.
You just happened to mention Governor Cuomo, and the way I look at his administration so far, he's been coming up with gimmicks. I call them gimmicks. That's my opinion. You're talking about the New York. You're talking about all these casinos in New York. These are gimmicks. This is nothing to do except for the bottom line. It's $1 for New York State.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
And everybody realizes that.
Oh.
Everybody realizes that.
Are you still there?
No. Yes, I am.
Okay. I mean, we just got beeped there. I don't know what that was. Yeah.
You're looking at, you know how many casinos and raceway casinos are in New York State? There's got to be at least 15 of them.
Actually, I don't know the answer to that, but I'll take.
Yeah, well, I already looked it up.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You know how many casinos are within 100 miles of Philadelphia?
A real lot. Yeah.
Yeah, 24.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You got 3 down in 3 casinos down into New Jersey. Even the Trump Towers was speculation of closing. You had one going into bankruptcy. They were trying to sell theirs, and then there's another one that was looking to go out of business. This is just down in New Jersey. It's amazing how this governor, being, as you said, and everybody knows he's a liberal Democrat, gets elected by the liberals in New York City. That's how he gets elected. Why they keep electing these people, and to think that he hasn't done anything for the state.
Now, part of the problem is the Republicans continue to concede elections. They don't put a dime into it. They don't promote their own candidates, and mostly they walk away from them. Carl Palladino had
I'm not going to disagree with you. Yeah. This shot, he may have a shot this time. I don't know. It's only going to depend on how many. If the liberals stay away this time from New York City, because the upstate people are not going to vote for him. The majority of them, anyway.
Yeah.
In my opinion. But down in New York City, it's like they got a stranglehold on these people, and no matter what liberal Democrat comes up, they'll just vote for him, no matter what.
Look who they voted for mayor in New York City.
Yeah.
I was going to bring that up too, de Blasio. I mean, really? He's got to be one of the most progressive liberals out there. And they voted him in, and that I think that shocked a lot of people upstate, knowing his background and knowing that he is an extreme liberal out there.
He's
but
nearly
again,
a Bolshevik.
Boom, they elected him,
oh.
And I just don't understand how. I just don't understand their mindset down there.
They vote for him.
Candidates.
They vote for him because there's something they see that they're going to get from him. He's going to give them something. And it's a selfish interest group that does that because they're all got their hands out.
Yeah,
how sad is that in this day and age to think that you're only going to vote for a candidate if you think you're going to get something from them?
Yep.
That's the culture we've created. I'm entitled.
Opposed to having a candidate actually doing what they said they were going to do on a platform they ran on.
Huh.
That's a novel concept.
I mean, that's like an honest politician of actually doing what they said they were going to do instead of getting in the office and swelling their heads up, swelling their egos up, and then just disband everything and just go in the party line. It's because I'm not a Republican and I'm not a Democrat. I'm a conservative, and I just don't see. A lot of these Republicans, in my opinion, are rhinos down there. I don't know what it is. It's just mind-boggling to think that this is the sad part of our state and part of our country, thinking that what's the government going to give me? What's is the government going to give me?
Yeah. Meanwhile, we rank number 50 in
You're right.
in business friendly. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And now the new
we're only friendly to businesses who pay
supposed
us.
to give all these businesses 10 years of tax-free, all these zones they set up.
Yeah.
I mean, it boggles my mind. I don't know if somebody in Albany just sit down and have nothing else better to do to think up gimmicks like this.
Yep. I hear you.
It's sad for the people in New York, and it's just sad for thinking that having businesses come in New York and under those pretense of I'm going to get once again I want to get 10 years of tax-free to start my business.
Yeah,
what we need is to take the barriers down so that people will come because it makes sense to come here.
And the poor folks that have been here are getting hammered.
Yeah. All right, I got another call here I got to squeeze in before the end of the program.
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen.
Take care.
Have a great day.
This is WCSS. You're on the air.
Good morning.
Hi.
Let's get to some real important business now.
Yeah.
You guys are baseball fans. I know that.
Well,
Bob,
a couple
you're
of us are.
Red Sox
Yeah.
fan.
Yeah.
Do you think our friend Derek Jeter is now regretting that he announced his retirement before the season? I think he's got a year or two left in him, and he's kind of boxed himself in now. What do you think?
I think he does have a year or two left in him, and I think he's getting out at just the right time because, let's face it, he's been doing this a long time. There's a lot of wear and tear on your body. He's made a lot of money. He doesn't need to make another dime, and he can make millions just advertising sneakers if he wants to for the rest of his life.
And he gets out while he's feeling good, and he's at the top of his game.
You're better off to go a year too early than a year too late.
Yeah, I think it's an absolutely perfect time for him to retire. Mariano Rivera could have gone on for another 10 years probably. I mean, the guy never showed any signs of slowing down other than the year he was out because he was hurt. But it does take and it's a lot of time away from home and all that stuff. You know, you're traveling half the year, and
he doesn't have a family.
It doesn't matter. Now he can get one.
You know what, though?
Now he's got time.
I would hate to see him linger on too long and go out as an old man who can't do anything. But he's maybe a year or two away from climbing that list of hits up to maybe number 3. He's up. What was he now? Number 5, something like that.
Yeah, he's pretty close.
He's pretty close. He's got enough. He's certain Hall of Fame. What's the point? Yeah,
he's better off going.
And just playing for numbers like that. I think
he's doing the right thing. You got to know. You got to know when to hold, and you got to know when to fold them.
Yep.
You got to know when to walk away and know when to run.
The thing is, next year I don't think the Yankees are going to field a better player than he's playing at right now.
Maybe they'll sign Stephen Drew for
they may happen, but that has nothing to do with him and his decision.
Yeah.
He's not the player he was, but he's still not over the hill.
No. By no means.
Thanks, guys.
By no means. I agree with you.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Hell of a ball player. I hate him.
This is Yankee.
Is that ours or not?
Try it. What the heck? No.
No. I don't know.
Stopped.
Okay. I don't know. We got time anyway. Anyway, so
I think he did the right thing.
Absolutely.
Leave when you're at the top of your game. You go out a hero.
Yeah.
You're not gonna leave as a has-been.
Right.
What's
the point of retiring when you're a 200 hitter? All right.
Yeah.
No. We haven't got time for a call anyway, so
okay.
We're at that point.
We're all done.
Yeah.
We're all done.
Fini kaput.
I don't know. It's,
Time to go to Crystal's.
Little low level of intensity today, but
You don't want to ride the top of that wave all the time.
I know.
You don't want to.
Friday show was really a little helped up by last Friday.
Yeah.
It was, no doubt about it. All right. So again, hello to all my friends in Hageman and
Cranes Hollow Road.
Cranes Hollow Road and in Northville and
Town of
Buffalo and
Town of Florida.
Town of Amsterdam, Town of Florida. Every place our tower reaches, which is a good distance these days. We ought to be simulcasting on all 4 stations, don't you think? We should talk to the boss about that.
We'll see.
We'll take calls from Speculator. That'd be cool. Yeah. Anyway, I'm Bob Going with Jim Nicosia and Gavin Murdoch, and this has been The Show with No Name.